This means being physically strong, and most people in the world are not physically strong. But there's something you can't see about people, and it's how much they are mentally strong. And to be honest, most people are mentally retarded. Like, you watching this video are probably mentally retarded. I'm not saying that to insult you, it's just a matter of fact. You see people, and really 90% of the problems that people face every single day are just due to their retardedness and inability to use their mind efficiently. Because people have shit attention span, they're not disciplined, they're not able to tell their mind to do what they want. They literally see their mind as an obstacle. Like, they see their mind as an obstacle when it should actually be something that helps you, should be a tool for you. Most people are mentally retarded. They can't control their emotions. Their emotions control them. They're not even confident. They don't even believe in themselves. And a lot of them don't even have respect for themselves. They're just very mentally disabled. They could do so many things with their lives, with their minds, but their mind becomes an obstacle instead of something that can actually help you. This thing, this tool that is so strong, that it was able to help us with evolution for millions of years, and it was so efficient that we actually continued to develop brain cells and brain every single generation because of how good it was for our reproduction and survival. This thing literally has become a problem. So much that if you go and look, the last generation that we have, right? So the kids of today, they are the first generation ever to have an IQ lower than the one before. Isn't it crazy? For millions of years, we've been developing our mind with every single generation, with higher IQ every single time. And this is the first time in history that the next generation, the generation that comes after the one we are right now, literally has less of a functioning brain than the one that we are in right now. If you all have, for example, 15 or above years old. Isn't it crazy? So today I'm gonna basically tell you how to stop being mentally disabled and how do you actually get back to having this tool that you can use in your head as something useful instead of an obstacle. You will never have to worry about going against your brain when you try to be disciplined. You will never have to worry about bad emotions taking control over you and just becoming depressed for no fucking reason at all, which happens too often to people. You will never have a problem with not being able to focus on your work, and you will be as efficient with your thinking as possible. No more overthinking, no more of that. No more of that bullshit. Today, everything is gonna change. So firstly, let's talk about the discipline thing I was talking about before, alright? So I said how by changing, by stopping to being mentally disabled, you don't have to fight against your brain anymore. Yes, that's true, because your mind is a tool, it's not a problem for you. It shouldn't be something that keeps you from doing the work. It should be something that helps you doing the work more efficiently and more often. So basically, whenever you want to do something, you gotta understand that to stopping to be mentally disabled, you need firstly to have full control over your mind, all right? If you don't have full control over your mind, you are indeed mentally disabled. And most people, they don't have control over their minds. How do you know? How can you say to us that you have control over your mind when you can't stop thinking? Can you stop, like literally, can you just flick your hands like this? I don't know if you say it that way, but anyway, I don't know if you can flick your hands this way, snap your fingers this way, there's the word, and just stop thinking in an instant. I don't think you can do that because most people are not able to do that. And when they hear me saying this the first time, they think, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Stopping to think. That's impossible. You can't think about nothing. You always have to think about something, right? Well, no, today I'm here to break this myth once and for all. You can, in fact, stop thinking. And if you learn how to power off your brain and stop thinking, and then powering it back on, then you're not mentally disabled anymore. When you power off your brain, your brain can't be an obstacle anymore. Why? Because it doesn't even fucking function. You can't even fucking think. Your mind is just powered off, right? And then, whenever you need to be extremely focused on something and work as hard as possible on that thing, you can power your brain back on and use it to work. But for like most of the time, you shouldn't have your brain powered on. You should actually have your brain powered off most of the time. Because most of the time, your brain is just an obstacle. 90% of the thoughts that you have during the day are either bad thoughts that destroy your mental health and make you depressed for no reason, or they are just repetitive thoughts that say things you already know. You already know you have a test tomorrow. You don't need to think about it. You already know you have it. You already know you need to study. You don't need to keep thinking, oh God, what should I do? What strategies should I use to make sure that I can pass the test tomorrow? You already know you need to fucking study, bro. So you don't need to think in this case. You can just power off your brain and go and do that. And by the way, if you do this, you power off your brain and you just go and do it. That's the best way to avoid procrastination. Because what happens with procrastination? Well, you are thinking so much about the thing that you have to do. And you're thinking so much, you're overthinking so much that you don't do it. You think so much about doing it that you don't do it. You start thinking it's gonna be hard. Oh, what should I do? I don't even know how to do it. No, even if I record this video, I'm not gonna get views, so what's the point in recording the video, Or even if I go to the gym right now, my legs feel sore, so I don't wanna go in there. You start coping. Your mind starts saying, oh yeah, but you know what? It would be better to just stay on the sofa and watch Netflix. But bro, if you power off your brain, now your brain can't say these things anymore. Now the only thing you need to be focused on is to literally go there and do the actual workout. Is to literally go out there, stand up, go out there and literally actually record the video, actually go and work on that business, actually go and work out and do your set of whatever muscle you need to train. All right, you don't think about it, because when you think, you start coping and you end up feeling that you don't have enough motivation, and so you need motivation to do this. No, you don't need motivation to do it. You don't need motivation to do things. Just stop thinking and go and do that. Motivation can help you fight your brain, all right? So for example, if you're very motivated to do something, then even if your brain tells you to just stay at home, you can just go there anyway, because you are very motivated and your motivation is more powerful than what your brain says. Being more disciplined helps you in the same way. If you're so disciplined that you can always fight your brain and win, then you don't need to hear me out. However, most people are not that disciplined, and it's actually impossible for humans to be 100% perfect. So instead of trying to be disciplined and go against your brain, just think about, just stop thinking and go and do that. Right? You do that by stopping to think. How do you stop thinking? You stop thinking by focusing really, really hard on one thing, just one specific thing, and you just are focused about that one thing. So, for example, when you're meditating, you're just focused on your breath. That's why you don't have any thoughts in your head. And even though you know meditation is, by the way, and even though you know meditation is good for you, you heard Hamza talking about it, you heard thousands of gurus online talking about it, you still don't fucking do it. That's bad on you, bro. I oftentimes hear people on YouTube, oh yeah, you can listen to YouTubers and influencers in like the self-improvement space. You can try out the habits. And then if, for example, meditation doesn't work for you, then you don't need to follow that advice. Since when meditation doesn't work, meditation is extremely good for you because it will make you able to stop being mentally disabled, which means every single time you focus on your breath when you're meditating, or you're focused on your body, or whatever kind of meditation you're focused on, you're just focused on this thing, which usually is your breath, and you're not thinking about anything else. Do the same thing when you have to go and do something that your brain tells you not to do. Just go and do it anyway. Think about you literally going there and starting to do that. Don't think about how hard it's gonna be. Don't think about actually doing the activity. Just think about taking your shoes on and go to the gym. Then now that you're at the gym, only focus on warming up. Now that you finished warming up, only focus on starting the next set. You always want to only be focused on the present moment, just like you do with meditation. You never want to be focused on other things. The reason why a lot of people don't like meditation and they say they don't work is because they don't understand it. They don't understand that meditation will help you not only improve your mental health, but it will also help you destroy addiction and make you stop procrastinating and actually becoming more productive. And it's not about learning how to be focused on your breath so that you can, when thoughts come to you, you just don't overthink about them. It's not only about that, it's literally about stopping your mind and just because when you are present in the present moment, your mind doesn't function. Your mind only functions when you are thinking about your future or your past. When you're focused on the present moment, your mind doesn't fucking work. That's why if you're that's why if you're focused on the present moment, you can just go there and start doing stuff without having to fight your brain and be disciplined. Right? Fuck, it's hot. It's so hot right here. Let me open the window because it's summer. It's extremely hot here in Italy. But yeah, so this is this is one feature of the brain that we've just solved right now by learning how to focus on just one thing. So either you start doing meditation, or just if you don't want to do meditation, just in the day, during the day, whenever you see yourself thinking, you realize that you are thinking, do this multiple times a day, by the way, just come back to the present moment and realize that you don't need to think about things, right? And when you're in the present moment, just be focused on that and don't think about anything. You wanna increase this skill of yours, and by doing that, you're gonna basically, your brain is not gonna be a problem anymore, and it's only gonna be a tool that you can power back on whenever you need it. For example, let's say you have to work. In this case, you can power it on back on when you're actually working, not before working, because if you do it before working, you end up procrastinating. But when you finally sit down, now just power your brain back on and start using it to be as focused as possible with the thing that you're doing. So for example, If you need to journal, now is the time to power your brain back on. Start using your brain, because your brain is so good to create millions of thoughts in just the span of 1 second. So those millions of thoughts can be a bad thing when you are overthinking, when you don't need your brain. But if you're powering it off and you're only powering it on when you need it, now it actually is a good thing, because now you are using the millions of thoughts whenever you have to think deeply about something and strategize. For example, when you're journaling and you're journaling about, for example, how could I make more views in this video? Or you're thinking about an idea for a next YouTube video, or you are thinking about a new strategy for your day trading, whatever it is. But you can power back on your mind. And by doing this, by the way, you will be 10 times more efficient, because now you are just focused on this thing that you're doing and you're using your mind just for this thing. And if you tell your mind, your mind to be focused on only this, and you tell the mind to do something, the mind is gonna do that. The mind is going to listen to you. What the mind wants to do is to just think and never stop thinking. So when you're telling the mind to stopping those bad thoughts instead of just powering it off, your mind is gonna disagree and it's gonna keep giving you bad thoughts about procrastinating. But if you tell your mind to keep thinking and even think harder, think more about something, your mind is gonna do that. So just internally think about saying to your mind, start thinking more about this thing. So start thinking more about this thing and be deeply focused whenever you need to strategize and do these things, all right? And never lose focus, never think about other stuff. Just tell your mind to keep focused on this and almost do it like if it was a challenge, like if you had to prove yourself something. For example, whenever you work, set a timer and say, I'm gonna finish studying this chapter in the next 20 minutes. Set a 20-minute timer and use those 20 minutes to be focused on that. Don't have distractions, don't have your phone, just be focused on that. This is gonna make you way more efficient. And by the way, this is what is called deep work. So we've talked about how discipline is a lie, and we've talked about the problem with being focused. And another reason why you might not be able to be focused if you have a very weak attention span. Now, a lot of people have very weak attention span. They're not able to stay focused on something for more than a minute. Now, of course, I don't have to tell you that by meditating and staying in the present moment more often, trying to power off your mind, you're going to be able to focus for more time. However, there are also some activities that are ruining your attention span and your ability to focus. And I'm talking about scrolling. You already know I was gonna bring this up, bro. When I talk about being mentally disabled, and when I say that the next generations are more mentally disabled than the one we have right now, the one me and you are in right now, I say it because I think that the main reason, the main cause is literally TikTok. TikTok and just scrolling in general. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, you name it. There are so many copies of TikTok in every single social media. And by the way, even scrolling through Instagram posts can destroy your attention span, because you're watching an Instagram post for like 10 seconds and then you scroll and you focus on the next one. You can't focus on something more than 10 seconds. Literally on TikTok now there are some videos where you literally have two videos in the same fucking video. You have like one person talking and like saying something funny in the part that is like under another video that also it's like some satisfying video or whatever the fuck, or like putting lava on ice, those bullshit videos, right? You have literally two videos on one video because of how much the attention span of people is just destroyed. And just go look at, for example, Mr. Beast video editing right now, and just normal videos, video editing right now, and then go back to what YouTube was 10 years ago and how much video editing there was. There's literally so much editing. I don't think that in a video of Mr. Beast there is literally one single second where there is not a cut or a video edit. There is none. So if you want to make sure you don't have destroyed attention span, watch these videos like this one. The reason why I don't put any editing on my videos and I make long ass videos, like I'm talking about 40-minute videos. The reason why I do this is because I want you to strengthen your attention span and actually listen to what I say instead of being focused on the video editing. You shouldn't need video editing to be more focused on the things that I say. Like, how much mentally disabled do you need to be, bro, to literally need video editing to make sure you're focused on what I say? Alright, so then, finally, your emotions taking control over you. Now, your emotions taking control over you is the reason why so many people quit. Maybe they are trying this business and it's not working, so they start getting bad emotions and bad thoughts and low confidence that they're never gonna be able to make it. And because of these thoughts, by the way, these are still thoughts. We just said that your emotions are generated by your thoughts. So again, what is the way that you stop these emotions to have control over you? Well, your emotions can take control over you if there is no emotion. And if you stop yourself from thinking, you don't have any emotions anymore. However, you will still have a feeling of peace and happiness and joy, even if you stop thinking. That's the beautiful part about it. For some reason, life has just blessed us with this power. And I'm so happy that I know this. I'm actually very worried and unhappy about the fact that when I just look at other people's lives, just think they're so fed up with their overthinking, and all of their problems come from their overthinking. So I'm so thankful that I've learned these things that I'm telling you right now about stopping to think, because these have helped me so much, not only with making progress with my goals and actually doing something meaningful with my life, but also with my mental health. I don't have bad emotions anymore, because whenever I start feeling bad, I start feeling unhappy, which happens, by the way. Whenever I start feeling frustrated and all of these things, I just remember to myself that these are just emotions, and emotions are just a reflection of my thoughts. I can have emotions only if I'm thinking. And so I just stop thinking and start focusing on the present moment again. And a smile comes back on my face. That's the happiest I've probably ever been in my entire life since I learned about this. And this was the other thing that I was gonna bring up. That so many people just get depressed for no fucking reason because they're overthinking. If you stop thinking, you stop also all of those thoughts that lead you to depression. If you learn how to focus and stay in the present moment, you can literally fix your depression. I know this is very controversial. A lot of people will tell me, oh no, it's not true, you need depression pills to make sure you get out of depression. And you know, depression is way harder than you think. You never been depressed, blah, 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 blah. How could you think about this? You never thought about killing yourself. How could you say that it's so easy to stop depression? I did think about killing myself, bro. But now it's different because I learned how to stop thinking. Right? So if you're not mentally disabled anymore, you will live a happy life. You will have a better attention span, actually being able to focus and not be a fucking NPC actually you will be more productive. You will not need discipline anymore. You will do something meaningful with your life. And last thing I'm gonna say, you will become more confident. The reason why you will become more confident is because you now don't have the limiting beliefs anymore. Now this is a little bit different, okay? This is another concept. We have too many limiting beliefs in our mind right now, in this day and age. You just talk with people, and when I talk with people, the conversation, now that I look at like a spectator that has already changed his own brain to make it as efficient as possible and cured his own mental retardedness. Now that I have a conversation with whatever person, I just realize every single conversation is filled with limiting beliefs. Either people complaining about stuff instead of actually working and doing something to change. People saying, oh yeah, I would like to do this, but that's the limiting beliefs. Oh, I would like to do something, but that's what a limiting belief is, right? So for example, I would like to have more friends, but I can't make friends because no one relates to me. I've now improved so much with my self-improvement that no one relates to me, so it's really hard for me to make connections with people and have friends. Limiting belief. That's not true. Why? Why would you fucking believe in something that limits you? Like even the just me telling you that this is the definition of a limiting belief should make you want to cut out all of the limiting beliefs that you have in your mind. Because a limiting belief is only limiting you. A limiting belief cannot help you and know what you're thinking. Oh, but what if I genuinely can't make it and this limiting belief is actually true? Let's say, for example, the limiting belief of, how do you say it? Genetics. The limiting beliefs of genetics. I have bad genetics, so I can't grow that much. Maybe that's true, but if you do start believing in it and you start believing that you have bad genetics, you will never make any progress in the gym. If instead you start believing that you have good genetics, you have God genetics, your genetics are incredibly good, then you will start going to the gym and work out, because now you know that by going to the gym you're gonna make progress. And maybe you even discover that you didn't have bad genetics, you just didn't want to go to the gym, and you were using bad genetics as an excuse. Limiting beliefs, 99 times out of 100 you will use limiting beliefs as a way to cope and not do the hard work. So destroy all limiting beliefs. It's gonna do way more good than harm to you. All right? This is gonna make you more confident. And this was the last thing about making yourself less mentally disabled. But if you also want to learn how to use basically, if you still see your mind as something that might be an obstacle, and you want to learn to go with your mind instead of against your mind when you're trying to do something, then you might want to learn how to brainwash yourself into working more hours every single day. And if you want that, you can actually go and watch this video right here about how to brainwash yourself, in how I brainwash myself every day into working 14 hours every single day. And then if you want to get even more in depth with productivity, you don't want just universal advices on my videos, and you also want to have like a more specific advice that actually works for you and you only, then you can get my one-on-one coaching. Is the first link in the description. You're gonna find it next to another link where there's like this free playlist, completely free playlist of the best videos that I've made in this channel so that you can learn more about productivity. So yeah, go watch those videos. See you in this video where I tell you how to brainwash yourself into working 14 hours a day, brother.